So here we are, still talking about this trumpet to catcher, and it's an interesting project, you know. There's all kinds of YouTubes and there's all kinds of great trumpet players that will tell you all kinds of stuff about what they're doing and what they can do and whatever. But there's not too many that are talking about the trumpet to catcher. And my theory or my thesis that you have to play with hand reflection. This is quite a mouthpiece, by the way. It doesn't have as flat or sharp a bite as some of the Baroque mouthpieces that you might find that people call authentic, but I don't want it cutting into my lip. But the most important parts about the thing are authentic Baroque mannerism, and that is the sharp cut that goes into the throat, the backbore, the length of the mouthpiece, the whole size, and that's quite a big hole there too. That's about a 4.5 hole that regresses and then goes back out again. So it fits into the instrument like this, and actually goes right into the lead pipe. The receiver is just there to hold so the mouthpiece actually goes to here. It's inside the pipe. Anyway, to have several mouthpieces made and different pipes and whatever that I showed earlier. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this aria number 5, which I think is for me one of the most beautiful arias that Bach wrote for the trumpet. And I've been playing this for a long, long time. I recorded it together with my ensemble, Steuart ensemble, back in the 80s. Michael Mulcahy now plays in the Chicago Symphony, played bass trombone, and Bruce Collings played alto trombone. And I wrote an arrangement of this for alto trombone, bass trombone, and piccolo trumpet. And that we recorded back then. I should play a little bit of this on the piccolo trumpet so you can hear how that sounds. I haven't played this piccolo in a few days. I hope the valves are moving. Yeah, pretty good. This is really this is the prototype that I developed for Cancel with a first valve trigger, third valve ring, bell changeable, and plays in 3 keys: B flat, A, and G. But right now we're in B flat here, and I just want to play a little bit of this on this piccolo trumpet in remembrance of that recording session that I did with Mark Ulrich. Also played second trumpet, and but that was more for quartets. I think we played some Handel and Michel Richard de Deux-Lalonde, something for Soup de Roy, Royal Tafelmusik for Ludwig XIV. But this Bach was mostly interesting for me. So here it is on the piccolo trumpet. I'll just play a little bit so you can hear the sound. This piccolo trumpet is in high B flat. So Mike, if you go on the music here, you can see this music in C. So I'm transposing a tone higher, which is just normal orchestral, necessary in orchestras all the time. Trumpeters have to transpose all the time, depending on what the instrument is pitched in. So if this instrument is in B flat and the music is in C, that means my first note I play on the B flat trumpet is in B natural and not an A like it says there. But notwithstanding what I'm doing here in my mind and making this instrument work, I just wanted to play this on the piccolo trumpet and then compare it to the trumpet to catcher. So I'm intonating, I'm moving the slides here so that the combination 1 and 2 can be better in tune. And I think you can hear that this, for me, the piccolo trumpet is easy to play. I play the same size mouthpiece as I do on the B flat trumpet, so I'm not looking for another embouchure or another position, or there's no experiments. I just put the mouthpiece in and play the thing an octave higher on an instrument half as long. That simple. Keeping it simple is important. because playing the trumpet is very tiring. It takes a lot of strength. You can see, notwithstanding the fact there's not a lot of air in this room now because we were trying to keep the street noise down, and because it's cold outside, and Mike, the cameraman, doesn't have any shoes on, and he says if I open the door, his feet are going to get cold. So I'm sweating, I'm working. I like to work though. But getting back to why I like to work is because in the end, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And for me, it's about idealism, and it's about art. And I think that it's pretty entertaining what I just played there on the piccolo trumpet, this Bach. And I've done it for years. There's also a version of this that I did in Regensburger Dome with a man named Eberhard Kraus. He wrote a wonderful group of chorales and arias for the trumpet and performed them first in Regensburg with Rolf Quinkve from Munich. And then I performed later the same pieces with him in Regensburg. Eberhard Kraus was the dome organist in Regensburg, one of the largest cathedrals in Germany. And in any event, playing it on the piccolo trumpet is great fun, and if someone goes to a concert and just wants to hear piccolo trumpet, like the old days of Maurice André concerts with piccolo trumpet and organ with Hildegard Bilgram, I think it was Bilgram, I think is her last name, professor for organist in Munich, and also a fantastic organist that played a lot with Maurice André, then that's okay. Maurice never played the natural trumpet. He never played the trumpet da caccia. And nobody that I have known has ever tried to play the trumpet da caccia with hand reflection. Some people say I have no idea what I'm talking about and that's bullshit. But I think you have to leave a little room for the possibility. And you know, if you love your art, then you want to go beyond, think outside of the box. That's what I'm trying to do. That's one of the reasons that I'm trying to do this for you in these YouTubes, is to inspire you to think outside of the box. And that's what I'm going to continue to do as long as Mike Albert here, who's holding the camera, is patient enough to show up here regularly for me to do these YouTubes. Of course, I'm paying him for his job, but that's not the case. He doesn't charge that much for me. I think he understands what my intention is, and he gives me a great deal on this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it at all. And so I thank you very much, Mike, even though you're concentrating on getting a good focus on what I'm talking about here. But, you know, no one lives there. No man is an island, and you need people to help you, always. So this is what it's about. Anyway, I don't think I ever showed, but this actually has a tuning part here that can move back and forth. I'm not going to put bits in here like what they call authentic, because, you know, back then they only played often only one instrument in one key, and they didn't change from one mouthpiece and play 10 other instruments in the same day, or maybe 3 or 4 in the same YouTube that's only in 15 minutes. It's another world we live in. But coming back to, again, what I just played on the piccolo trumpet, so you don't forget what that was about, I'll play a couple of notes again. Just stick this under my arm. D, D, F sharp, E, and I have to move that first valve slide out, otherwise the E is sharp. So I need what we call intonation possibilities, even on a modern instrument, if I'm going to play proper intonation. Mike, can you get over on this side? So the movement of this slide for Bach or whatever, it's important that you be able to move it. And this was the very first piccolo trumpet that had a trigger on it that I know of. And Heinz Poggense made it for me. And it's a very interesting construction because it runs in the middle here, you see. There's when you take this off, there's a bushing here. And if I take this screw out here, slowly, so it doesn't fall on the floor, you can see that it has a post in the middle that post in the middle is very clever. That's an idea from Heinz Poggense. It fits right into a rail here, and therefore it doesn't bind at any point, even though it's farther out, almost all the way out sometimes. It can't bind. And it's the same in 3 different keys. So there's 3 different lead first valve slides for, this is in A now, B flat now, so in B flat and then A and then in G, the same situation. Putting that back in here, this is what they call a bushing here instead of like ball bearings and now, no problem. Because you want to be able to move it very, 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 very gently. And the A needs less lead pipe, less first valve compensation than the E. So once again, it starts on a sounding A, but it's B natural on the piccolo trumpet in B flat. Now, actually, I would actually want to even move the 3rd valve slide, but I've got this trumpet to catch under my arm, which makes it a little more difficult to do everything properly at this moment. I'm always trying to do things as quickly and as informatively as possible. So come back because of the pressure of the YouTube. But anyway, to come back to do that same thing on the trumpet to catch, I use, instead of moving slides or opening holes like on the so-called Baroque trumpet, the natural trumpet with holes, I use hand reflection. And because this instrument is 4 times longer than that, I start in the overtone series the overtone series starts much lower. So let's show in the music again, Mike, like I asked you, so that you can see what it is that I'm reading and then using for my ears, hand reflection to play the intonation. This is, again, I'm playing the 14th overtone and lowering it with the hand reflection to get an A. Otherwise, it's not going to be an A. When I get to the 9th overtone, I lower that to make it a C sharp. The 9th overtone is the D, and the 9th overtone is a little bit sharp, so I have to use a little hand reflection to take it down too, just as if I was going to move a slide, just generally. So the time is running out for this, but I just want to play it once again. Mike? Now, it wasn't perfect, and if I just concentrate on one instrument in one day for 1 hour, it gets pretty good. But not perfect, because I'm not perfect. And the instrument isn't perfect. But it's not about perfection. And it's not about being the best at what you do. It's about you doing your best. This is the goal in life. So I hope you come back and take a look in these YouTubes, The Man with the Horn, Richard Carson Steuart, soon, and I thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.